Aloha! This is Chrissy with Carmen's Karma coming at you with fun things to do on Oahu. This week I wanted to dive in on things to do with little kids on the island. I recently had some friends come to visit who have a 3 and 5-year-old, and we got to explore a couple different places that were perfect for them. So let's get into it. The first thing I always recommend you do is go to a beach. And there's beaches all over the island, but some are better than others when it comes to little kids. The two beaches that we recommend would be Waikiki or Ko'olina lagoons. Both have easy access, especially if you're staying there. Please note that if you're not staying at either of these locations and you're driving there, it can be difficult to park in Waikiki. There is parking just past the Honolulu Zoo at the park, and you can walk over to Queens Beach and then walk up to Waikiki Beach. That would be an easy way to do it, and cheap or free, rather than paying the very high prices that you would pay down in the resort area to park. And then if you're not staying at Ko'olina and you want to go to the beach there, it can be tricky to park as there's not a lot of parking spaces in each lagoon. We do recommend if you go and you're not staying there, go to Lagoon 4 as it has the most parking. But Waikiki has great beaches. The water is usually pretty calm. It has lots of sand and just fun things happening all over. The one downside to Waikiki is it can be crowded. So if you want to avoid the crowds, we highly recommend going to Ko'olina. Ko'olina is on the west side of Oahu, and it is not in a very trafficky area. There's lots of resorts there like Disney Aulani, the Marriott, and a couple others, name a few. Each resort has usually a pool, and some have water slides and really fun things to do. So it's a perfect place to stay with little kids. Plus you can just walk right out to the beach. You don't even have to leave. There's all kinds of amenities all around you. Target, Costco, whatever you need is right there. And the water is super calm. All of the lagoons have a protected cove around them that prevents lots of waves or anything that would make the water kind of dangerous. It's almost like swimming in a giant pool. My kids love to go there. My friends' kids love to go there. So that's definitely a place I would recommend. Of course, anywhere you stay on the island is going to be beautiful. Just be sure to check the surf report. Watch for the signs that the lifeguards put out. If there's caution tape, don't go. And never turn your back on the ocean. Always keep your eye on the water, especially on your little ones. Number 2, we recommend doing a hike. And you're like, what? Hike with little kids? Yes, there are some great hikes to take with little kids. If you want a paved hike so you can bring a stroller, you can check out Makapu'u Lighthouse Trail. This is out in the sun, so be sure to wear sunscreen because there's no shade. But it's a beautiful view from the top, and most of the time, if you're here in the winter, you'll get to see whales. So all my kids love seeing the whales, so it's always a plus. The other place we recommend going that's also paved is the Waimea Valley Falls Trail. This is a botanical garden. You have to pay to get in, but it's pretty reasonable, and it is a beautiful place to go. They have so much lush gardens, and you can see all the plants, learn about the plants. They have little placards that tell you the names of the plants. And the best part is at the very end, you get to see a beautiful waterfall that you can swim in. So if you and your kids want to go swim in it, they do provide life jackets. I believe you can bring your own. So you just bring your own little floaties for your kids, and they can go swimming in the really fun waterfall. Also note though, it's cold. The waterfall water is cold. So be prepared for that, but it's a really good time. There's bathrooms. Sometimes they have vendors up there. And be sure to bring snacks. You can bring a stroller. There's a restaurant right in the beginning when you first get in that you can go to. There's a souvenir shop, all kinds of cool stuff. A bunch of posters that show you all the movies that were filmed there or on the island. But yeah, it's one of our favorite places to go as a family. Another really cool hike, if you want to get a little bit more adventurous and go into the jungle, is Lekeke Falls. Lekeke Falls, even though it's in the jungle, it's still super safe to take little kids. We've brought many little kids there, and it's always a great time, and you get to see another waterfall. Number 3 on my list, and this is probably my favorite, is paddleboarding the Anahulu River. This is located on the north shore of the island. This is so peaceful and so great, and your kids will just enjoy it. You can rent a kayak or you can rent a paddleboard. Just be sure to have a floaty on your kid in case they decide to jump off the paddleboard. The cool thing about Anahulu River is oftentimes you will see the hanu, which is the green Hawaiian sea turtle, swimming upriver. And if it's wintertime and the surf is big, they're definitely there. In fact, the last time I went, there was at least 12 turtles. It was amazing. The kids were just freaking out. They were so excited to see so many turtles. But this takes you about a half an hour up and a half an hour back. There's a rental shop right across the street from where you park. And there's a couple different places there. There's a couple different shops. Be sure to bring snacks. There's not food really close by, but you could probably walk down the road and get some food. But I do recommend bringing snacks. You can bring a dry bag, whatever you need to hold on with you to go down the river. But it is super fun and super great if you are not wanting to go on the paddleboard in the ocean. After you're done paddleboarding, you can stop and get some shave ice from Matsumoto's Shave Ice. It is probably one of the best on the whole island. Sometimes the lines are long, but it's totally worth it, and your kids will thank you for it. I didn't even know about this until my friends came, and they're like, hey, we found this thing we want to do with the kids. Let's do it. We found that you can go horseback riding at Gunstock Ranch. They provide many guides to go with you, and they just strap them in. It's so cute. They put little helmets on them, and then they take them on this little trail, and it's just a lot of fun, and the kids get to interact with the horses. They also have a little petting zoo of different animals. We really enjoyed this, plus it's just a really beautiful side of the island. This is on the north shore, but on the Laia side, next to Kualoa Ranch. This is a very beautiful side of the island to see. It's very country, lots of farms and just really cool stuff. Lots of food stands and food trucks that you can stop at on your way there or on the way out. But definitely worth checking out. Number 5 on my list would be the Dole Plantation. The Dole Plantation is so much fun. There's a really cool store with lots of souvenirs and goodies and things that you can get to remember your wonderful Hawaiian vacation. And there's some really cool things to do while you're there. You can ride the train and learn about the history of the plantation. You learn how pineapples are grown and see all the different equipment and the pineapple fields. They also grow coffee there and chocolate and all kinds of different stuff. All the kids love the train ride, so definitely worth going to the train ride. If you're really into plants, they have a botanical garden that you can walk through. The other thing you can do there is there's a maze, and it's really cool. It's a big maze, and there's lots of twists and turns and things you got to find, and it's a lot of fun. You can have a really good time in there with your little ones. It's fun for adults and teenagers too, so definitely recommend checking that out. And then when you're all done doing that, you can go to the Plantation Grill and get some Dole Whip. I also like getting the chili cheese fries there. So usually get chili cheese fries and Dole Whip. They have many different selections to choose from. But if you haven't had Dole Pineapple Whip at Disneyland, then you should try it in Hawaii. But if you've had it at Disneyland, then you know what I'm talking about. But it's so good. We love getting it. And you can get it at Dole Plantation, and you can also get it at some ABC stores around the island. So if you're craving some Dole pineapple, then definitely check out ABC store. The number 6 place that we recommend taking your little ones is the Polynesian Cultural Center. This is a very hands-on, interactive place, learning about the Polynesian cultures. They do a lot of performances. They have lots of crafts that you can learn how to do. Lots of shows, different things going on. There's a lot of food and shops at the beginning, and you can ride in a boat down the river. It's just a really cool place to get inspired and learn about the Hawaiian culture and support the students that work at the Polynesian Cultural Center. And the great thing about it is when you purchase one ticket, it's good for 3 consecutive business days. So you can keep going back, and it'll be good for 3 days. If you want to see more about this, I'll be sharing a video that dives more into detail about what you do at the Polynesian Cultural Center. So the number 7 place can be for the whole family, kids, adults, teenagers, grandma and grandpa, but it's Hanauma Bay. This is a preserve and it's a protected bay, so the fish there are big and beautiful, and the reef is just gorgeous. It is one of my favorite places to snorkel. One, because it's not crowded, because they only let so many people in, which means it's sometimes difficult to get into. But if you plan it right, you can get in there and enjoy the whole day there. They open the gates at 6:45. Parking's $3, and then you pay admission to get in. And they go over a video with you to teach you about being respectful to the reefs, and wearing the proper sunscreen. You need to wear reef safe sunscreen, and please don't step on the coral. Many times we've seen people standing on the coral. This hurts the coral, so please, please, please don't do it. Try to find a sandy spot and then stand up. But you could spend the entire day here. The kids will love the beach, and those who want to snorkel can go out and snorkel. It's a perfect place for everyone. And the number 8 spot is the Honolulu Zoo. Obviously, it's a zoo, so it's probably going to be like other zoos, but it's a zoo in Hawaii, and kids love seeing animals. So if you need somewhere to go that gives them that animal experience, take them to the Honolulu Zoo. They will have a blast, you will have a blast, and it's just a beautiful park. Number 9 place we recommend is Sealife Park. This is kind of like SeaWorld. There's lots of animals. You can feed the turtles and see the dolphin shows and learn about marine life. There's just lots of different things. You can see sharks, and they do shark feeding and all kinds of cool stuff. My kids really enjoyed going here and just learning about all the marine life, learning about how to protect the fish and the turtles. It's definitely another option if you need somewhere to take your little ones, give them some animal experiences. Last, number 10. There's a lot of other places you can go on the island that you might have back at home, but they're always a good place to take your kids if you need something to get their wiggles out, something for them to do. There's the Children's Discovery Center. There's Wet and Wild, which is a water park. And then there's play places. There's Kids City Adventure. The one in the Ward Center in Honolulu is super big. It looks very cool. So if you maybe you're here and your family is working or something and you just need to kill some time and take your kids to, let off some steam, the Kids City Adventure place looks very cool. We haven't gone there yet, but it is huge. It looks fun. It's always busy, and I think your kids will love you for it. Well, that's all I have for today, but I definitely will be diving into more fun things to do on the island. So be sure to like and subscribe so that you get up-to-date information on what's happening on the island and fun places to go and places to stay. I have a laundry list of things that I want to share with you. So we hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time. Mahalo.